Joseph Cathedral, in collaboration with Father Saturnino Orius University, presents Tuesdays with San Jose, a weekly online program where we explore everything under the sun, from everyday concerns to meaningful talking points. Join us as we share stories and reflections around and within our community. No matter who you are or where you come from, there's something here for you, where everything's spoken for. And here are your hosts.
What does it mean to be a leader? In this time of political turmoil and confusion, the question of leadership is again cast into the background. Who and what is a leader? Or more properly, what makes a servant leader?
Friends, this afternoon we are going to sit down with Father Randy Odchigue, El Presidente, as some would call him. The president of FSUU sits with us this afternoon. We're going to talk to him about, the exciting things that are happening in the school and what are some of the challenges, especially with what is happening in today's society. We're going to talk about that and more with him this afternoon. This is something I've been waiting for weeks, for sure. So excited to have him today.
Hello, this is Father Glenn Abamonga, Parish Vicar at St. Joseph Cathedral, your host of Tuesdays with San Jose, together with...
Yeah, my name is Shyla. I am one of the lectors who serve here at the Cathedral as well.
Welcome to our Tuesdays with San Jose, episode 26.
Yes, 26 already.
So,
So we've... episode 26 and more. We're gonna close the year with 29, I think, right? So, yan.
So, looking back at 26 ba niya? I remember Father Randy I think they were in the third episode.
Yes.
So, when we began with the Chinese community. So, we've come a long way and now we will have him again for another more enriching discussion. So, first, shout out sa atong mga viewers diha from St. Joseph Cathedral, our FSUU community, atong mga estudyante nga nasa ilang final exams week karon, and for all of us who have been watching since episode 1 until this very episode today.
Yes, we're inviting you all to share this page. Labi na dito sa mga first time pa lang to watch us. You can share this on the Facebook page. We're also on YouTube and TikTok.
TikTok and Instagram.
For dancing, Father Glenn dances on TikTok, so you can watch him there. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay, so we'd like to thank first our sponsor for today's episode, Kimson Commercial. Thank you, to Bernadette Chu and the Chu sisters for your constant support for our program and our parish community.
Siguro, before we formally introduce.
Our guest needs no introduction, but
I
think to put some things in order and to give us an idea of what our discussion this afternoon will be, let's watch this short video.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. We may be right, we may be wrong, but I wanna bring you along to the world I see, to the world we close our eyes to see. We close our eyes to see. I think the world could be a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Friends, let's welcome our guest for this afternoon, Father Randy Jasper Odchigue, President of Father Saturnino Orius University. Pads, sinakay gusto i-shout out, Pads?
Shout out sa mga kauban ng mga pari sa diocese, of course, and also the university community, our students, our faculty, and our employees. Of course, shout out sa mga kauban nga pari nga nagtrabaho sa Orius, Father Mike, Father James, Father Junray, Father Alner, of course, mga kauban nga nagtrabaho nga mga pari sa diocese. And of course, Parish Priest at the Cathedral, Father Kits Butardo.
Yes.
So before we formally begin, I think congratulations is in order, Shai. I would like to congratulate Father Randy for being appointed as member of the CHED Technical Panel for Catholic Education Curriculum. Sakto ba?
Maraming na.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Father.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
transitioning into president plus
Yeah,
some
member
roles
of the
here
CHED
and
panel
there.
also.
Wow.
Very
How was-
important role.
Yeah, congratulations. How was, so kanina we were watching the videos on your becoming a president, no? How first of all, how was that feeling first when you were, transitioned to the presidency already?
Okay, I can think of perhaps 2 or 3 feelings. One, there's that sense of unworthiness for the huge role of the presidency of Urios, knowing the scope of mission and the scope of work. But at the same time, while there's that feeling of unworthiness, there's also a feeling of an overwhelming sense of gratitude, because the way I see it, while the scope of responsibility is quite huge, dako nga trabaho, but it's also an opportunity to serve more and to an opportunity to, in a way, inflesh the mission and continue what Father John, the former president, has started. And the community, myself especially, who has worked with him for the last 15 years as his vice president for academics, I can see the dedication, the level of commitment, and the zeal for mission. And so to be given that opportunity to serve is, yes, it's a great privilege. And so perhaps the third feeling is one of excitement on the things that can happen in relation to the mission, because at the end of the day, it's really about the mission of the university and the mission that's being entrusted to the leaders of the school. No? So myself, for example, and of course the other priests who are helping Catholic schools all over the country and the region, and of course our diocese. So parang ganun.
So Paz, you said 15 years
Yeah, I was
already
gonna
as
say, wow.
vice president. And then, how was that transition, di ba kay? Dugay nakadaan sa Urios. I
Yeah,
think people have become familiar with you, Father Randy, as the VP for academics.
Father
And
Kits.
now,
Yes.
Father Kits and Father Jan. And now that, si Father Kits and Father Jan, how na you remained, and from VP you transitioned now to the presidency. So, what was the kind of transition, Paz, that you had? Especially nga, 1 year since you assumed, di ba, Paz, the
Yes.
presidency.
Yes, this is my second year. To answer that question, I think it's very important to put that into context. The question of transition has already been discussed, I think I can say this now, as early as 2020. So
you've had time to sort
yes,
of...
and with the 15 years that I was with a very good team, Father John, Father Kits, Janine, Lyndon, myself included, no, alsa ng bangko. But in my inaugural speech, I was telling the community that in those parang 15 years, I was exposed to so many things that helped me transition to the position where I am right now. It's more for me like just a change of assignment in the university, because I've been familiar with the operations. Of course, there are a lot of things that I still need to adjust to and learn. I was focused exclusively in academics, so basically curriculum development, teaching, learning, assessments, teacher parang personnel development programs, academic plans, and all that. No, so when I transition to the presidency, it means that I have to look at the other aspects of the operation, more than just the academic side of it. And I can tell you now that the operation of the component of the university that supports the academic implementation is very, very complex, and it takes a lot of for me, I was just so happy that the mentors that I have and the colleagues that I had, for example, sa support services, I had Father Kits to help me understand the nitty-gritty of the whole operation. And he's still here. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can
he's
tap
just
him.
a chat away, and I would even free consult him on some of the things that I still need to learn. And so so if you ask me how's the transition, it's both easy and difficult. So it's easy in the sense that I've been familiar with the operation. There's a difficulty in the sense of me trying to adjust on the many things that are now kind of thrown into my plate, and I have to deal with all of them as the ultimate person who's responsible to the board. No? So I am also happy that in this transition, the board of Urius, from that side of university administration, has been nothing but really supportive to the presidency. And so I thank Bishop Ming, of course, and the members of the board who have been very, very generous and kind in the transition. The officers of the university, we are also blessed in this school community that, in a way, they have imbibed the values of the university already. I'm confident in saying this because even when we do planning and budgeting, we don't have to repeat the mantra of the need to be sustainable so that we can pursue our mission. The need to have strong bottom lines and strong community support so that we can really move towards the other things beyond the fundamentals. So in a way, yes, it's easy. For lack of a better term, maybe easy, but also it's.
You're prepared.
Yeah. I was kind of there's a good preparation for the transition.
There's like 15 years of good foundation
Yes.
that accompanied
Yeah.
you. And so that's in the school and how that prepared you for this role, Father. I'm sure some of us have had yung struggles or challenges in life, like for example, for me, when I look back at what I've gone through, some suffering, some challenges here and there, it's made me go deeper into my faith and become grounded even more. Are there something recently for you, for example, that's personal, that was a challenge but also helped you become stronger as a president now for FSUU?
Well, I would say the most recent would be the death of my father. Just about
Was
2
this
years
before
ago.
you became the president? During?
During
talagang
presidency,
kasabay, no?
first year,
Okay.
parang
Oh,
first
wow.
year
Oh, wow.
nangyari. So, and so, before pala, before the presidency, but just
Super,
a
very
few
close.
months before. So the transition was a bit challenging because I feel very close to my dad. In fact, I took a leave from the school.
For how long?
2 months, I think, because I had to parang be with him in the hospital. We're only 2 siblings. Yung pangatlong kapatid namin, si Sandy, is here. She has been with us, and Ramil is out of the country, and he's an expat. And so basically, I have to take a leave of absence to the school to take care of my father. So both here in Butuan and eventually in Cebu, where he eventually, died and went home to our father. On the one hand, it's a difficult transition personally because I have to deal with the loss. But in a way, because there are a lot of experiences in that parang 2-month period of me parang watching over my father in the hospital. Quite powerful experiences with him that kind of reaffirmed the essentials about about my priesthood and about the mission that I have. No, because presidency, the way I see it, more than it being an academic title or a title of being a leader in a school, is nothing but an expression of my mission as a priest. So the most fundamental thing for me is my priesthood. And so, yung experience with my father kind of brought me back to the essentials of what it means to be a priest. And then eventually it has an effect on how or the kind of leader that I am. No? So one instance, for example, if I may share this, at the risk of oversharing, in the hospital, I think that was the last night before he died. He was in pain, and so there's no amount of parang pain reliever na parang nilagay sa mga doktor that could appease him or parang
Make him comfortable.
Make him comfortable. And so he asked me, sabi niya, can you put my hand on my parang stomach kasi nandun yung pain. So dito ang sakit. Sabi ko nga, there's no effect because I'm not a doctor, I'm a doctor, but in theology, not in medicine. Second, I don't think, I'm not really into parang yung mga parang gahom sa pari, no? Or parang murag ako. And then he says that, I believe that you can comfort me with your hand.
Wow.
So, ingon ko, sige. So, iputang na ko dito. Me and my usual philosophical background and theological background at the back of my head, okay, I'm doing this just for him. But when I did that, he said, see, I'm relieved. Ingon ko, really?
Wow.
Siya, yes, I am, because your hand is anointed. Your hands are anointed hands because you're a priest. No? So, and for me, that stopped me on my tracks.
Yeah.
Na, even if I was kind of approaching it from the perspective of maybe this is a pastoral thing for my father. But for him, it was very real.
Yeah.
And so, that brought me back to the parang essentials of what it means to be a priest. And to do mission. Sometimes even in pain, and even in darkness, you still can comfort and you still can heal. No? At the end of the day, it's not the scientific healing that's what's being sought by the person.
Yeah.
It's really your presence.
Yeah.
And I'd like to, parang, if I talk about university mission, I think it's really that, you might say, the mission of bringing the presence of God into the community.
Christ,
And it's very, very important that a leader does not forget that. No, because, so for example, I have masses, but basically on Sundays, I'm not into parish work. And my priesthood has always been that for the longest time. So I'm more than 25 years a priest. The parish exposure is just about 8 months. But I have a community that I kind of shepherd, the Filipino-Chinese community. I've been the chaplain for the last 15, 16 years in that community, and I'm very, very happy. Nakalimot kong shout out diyan sa FMCCWO and Filipino-Chinese community. No, but I'm also lucky in that sense. I'm also blessed and graced because the Lourdes Chapel community has been a community of generosity and compassion and just these ladies and the members of the community, they're so consumed with their mission. No, in fact, I know that this coming Friday they're going to do the pilgrimage in the diocese. So bilihan na ng mga passport yung mga yan. And I think in my apostolate with them, as in the university, I think it's very important that a leader and a chaplain or a pastor, a priest for that matter, is the presence of God. No? And despite so for example, ngayon, my work in the university, it's very financials, planning, and leadership trainings and all that, organizational efficiency. I think it's very important that we hold on to that always. And sometimes how we operationalize the presence of God may be different from how others will look at it. No? And so my guiding principle is always the mission of the university. And if I remember the why I am here as a priest, and as a guarantor of the mission of the school, that in whatever program, it makes the decision easy. Because then I can sift through the essentials, the non-negotiables, and the things that are, okay, pwede na yan.
Pwede na.
But on this one, we don't settle for less. On these things, these are the essentials, and these are the things that are worth fighting for. In my inaugural speech, the title of my speech was the fragile absolutes of Urius, the things that are worth fighting for in the university. And so, for me, until now, that guides me in my decision-making mission of Urius, the holistic balance of programs, the sustainabilities in our school, and then, of course, the community as bonded in our faith in the Father, Son, and Spirit, no? And of course, the Catholic faith. So, ingon ana ang murag connection between the personal and the work that I'm doing.
So, beautifully said, Chevan, padaranding leadership that is clear with its identity and mission, di ba? So, Christ-centered niya. Alam na ko itong fragile absolutes, but when you said that speech, very beautiful speech, I remember that, the fragile absolutes. But, connected na pa, especially nga karon, we're talking about leadership and it's become a hot button issue today. Now, how do you lead Urius today with its challenges? For example, it's a Catholic university, but also there's competition with other schools, di ba?
Other secular universities.
Universities, kaya it's cheaper there, people can go there. How do you lead with those kinds of challenges?
It is indeed challenging. To me, so for example, if at one level, if we look at the relationship between the public and the private educational institutions, there's indeed a challenge because the public and the state schools, they are funded by the budgets, from the general appropriations in the Congress, whereas in the private institution, and I'm not only speaking about Urius, I'm talking about Urius, but all the rest of the Catholic institutions, basically we are tuition dependent, and so it's very dependent on the kind of enrollment that we have, and of course, some of the parents, given the economic parang situation of Caraga, while it's no longer second of the poorest, but still the poverty incidence is quite high at I think half. We're higher by half of the country's poverty incidence at around mga 20 or something. Katong 2023 nga results sa Philippine Statistics Authority. And so therefore, if you look at it, education in this part of the country is still largely dependent on the economic capability of the parents. And so therefore, there's really a skewing of preference because it's they will spend more in a private institution. But moving forward, to me, I think it's still very important to hold on to. Of course, we want to attract enrollees.
Yes.
And so the only way to do that is to maintain our quality. One, at one level, academic excellence. Number two, it's also important that we have to make our value proposition quite attractive to people. So, by value proposition, it's our Catholic faith. And the value proposition of Catholic faith is we want to form individuals that are not only professionally parang trained and prepared, but are also people who are nurtured in the spirituality of the Catholic faith and the Catholic Church, which means that the model of education that we have is not only human capital, no? Meaning to create that pathways to prepare, parang to prepare professionals so that they can contribute to the workforce. No? So meaning parents will invest,
Yes.
and then bawion na siya kay professional sila. No? That's the human capital perspective. The way I see it, the brand of education in OUs is yes, human capital, but more. I would say, and I'm borrowing a lot from other in a way parang trailblazing mindsets on this one. Not only human capital, but human capability, to enhance the capability and the well-being of a person, so that the person is not just capable professionally, but the person is capable of deep relationships, for example. That's not taught in some of the schools. Capable of deep compassion, capable of deep concern for ecology.
Yeah.
And URIS is known for its ecological and environmental advocacy.
Yeah.
We're known for that. Capable to form meaningful relationships,
Yeah.
and capable of a deep faith that has a consequence on caring for the country and for the poor. And our programs at Orius, they're really rationalized in the sense that all this are given a space in the academic and non-academic implementation of the university. So that's the value proposition. Of course, there's a third one. We want to shape the conversation of innovation in Caraga. And so, for example, in relation to katong imong giingon Glenn nga, the role of the relationship of state and the government, I could say that beginning with the presidency of Father John, we've been exploring a tighter and a more collaborative relationship with parang government actors like DTI, DOST. And I'm very proud that ang transition ako with Father John and katong mga projects, we started it during the time Father John, and I'm continuing it now. So now we are currently building a structure with DTI to help in the packaging and labeling of the MSMEs in Calaga. That's a one-stop shop thing that is, I think, the first in the Philippines, first in or Visayas Mindanao. That's a one-stop shop, and it creates that parang opportunity and a value proposition to that the university will play a role in changing the parang economic landscape of and the business landscape of the region, and eventually create an ecosystem of parang innovation and economic development in Calaga. I'm so excited that we are a part of that conversation. And there are other schools who are also very good at innovation and research. And I hope to, of course, work hand in hand with these institutions to create an ecosystem. Right now, we are part of an ecosystem of emerging technologies and entrepreneurial mindsets in Caraga with other schools. So, in that sense, that's the third value proposition that we want to put forward in the university. In relation to tuition, there is an existing Republic Act, 10931, on parang universal access to education. This is where the tertiary education subsidy comes from. But to me, I think it can still be implemented more efficiently. It can still be implemented in a way that really fulfills the intent of the law about access and quality. And then I know, for example, Father John, our former president, is a member. I'm very proud of this. He's a member of the EDCOM 2, Educational Congressional Committee for Education. And they are the ones doing the hard work of analyzing what reforms can we make, given the PESA rankings of the Philippines. We're lagging behind math, science, and all that. And then there's a lot to be desired in relation to complementarities, no, between public and private. So this is the third thing, that when we talk about competition, the word should be complementarity.
Yes.
And when we speak of complementarity, it means that both the public and the private implementation of education are indispensable structures in enhancing our collective parang quality of education. So when we talk about education, we're not just talking about public education, but private. And when we talk about complementarity, it means that both are structurally indispensable. And then there's a House bill now that's being filed in the Congress, HB 2029. It's on its second referral after DepEd to CHED na ngayon, I think. It was authored by Congresswoman Alvarez. It was introduced last July 2025. And it's very nice because hopefully it will become a Republic Act. It will become a law because it operationalizes the word complementarity. Because now, there's the enabling law is not yet present in relation to complementarity. And when we talk about complementarity, daghan kaayo siya og modes. So the first mode is the importance of the choice of the student where to go. And if the student, so meaning it's student empowerment, that they're not forced to choose this particular institution because it's free, and so even if the course that I want is not there, I will enroll there. No, it means that the student is really empowered. So for example, the student is empowered. For example, I go to Davao because that's where my course is. Whether it's public or private, the government has a subsidy or a voucher or in whatever form scholarship to support the students. So it empowers the students. One, it also kind of eases the burden of the parents.
Exactly. Yes.
Because there's government support. And then third, it also decongests the congestion in the public schools.
Yeah. True.
And so that's one mode, no, the student empowerment. But the other mode is the rationalization of programs, meaning we don't have to duplicate. If there is a school, whether it's public or private, that implements a program very well, then the public, ang maganda dun sa HB 2029 is that it asks the public and the private and the government to form committee on partnerships. So which means that if there are courses that are not present in the school, we can collaborate with another private or another public entity or educational institution to implement that. We can lend professors, so that kind of ecosystem is, to me, a very ideal way of operationalizing complementarity, rationalization, not competition, because then it will only divide us, and in a way for me, it will only kind of scatter our resource rather than pooling our resources. No? So the House bill even contemplates of a public-private partnership in implementing certain spaces. So for example, if there's a very good laboratory in a certain institution and they run it efficiently, then there's a partnership mechanism where students from
another
whichever school can have access to the laboratory.
Yeah.
That's so to me,
Is that
Congress should to me pass the bill because this is a way forward, no,
for everyone,
for
all schools,
everyone.
yeah.
In the US, we know of federal funding to private education institutions. Of course, there's a whole debate about how it's being implemented. But I know, for example, that EDCOM 2 has benchmarked in a lot of countries, and this is what they're seeing. The education is not a scattered implementation, but there are modes of complementarity by which we can cooperate with the sole mission of raising the bar and raising the quality for education. And to me, I'm very excited because if this can happen, in the next 5, 6 years or even 3 years, no, nabisi pa si Congress karon sa ubang mga butang.
They're gonna be kalingawan nila.
But so for me, I'm excited if this bill will really be passed, because then it can operationalize the word complementarity and kind of forces the private education institution to raise the quality. Kay dili man pug ka pwede suportahan sa gobyerno if your quality or your quality assurance mechanisms are not in place. So then we get rid of very bad implementation, fly-by-night institutions. So kini murag exciting ni nga part. I'm also excited to see this happen.
So, gamit na nakita yung nakatawanan, di ba? Many things. I think Urios is not just any Catholic institution. It's also trailblazing something that is beneficial for all, especially here in Caraga.
Yes.
So, ito pa darandi nga na public-private partnership ba niya, na shared spaces with good facilities. So, kung nauna, ay, pwede na magamit ang swimming pool sa Urios.
Yan. Yes.
And the other good facilities that we have, di ba? Natay
yes.
data science, napatay computer lab nga,
Yes.
all Mac, di ba? So, many things Urios can share, and it's already doing.
It's already
right
doing
now.
so that others can see. Instead of competing, because we're seeing some courses are the same here in some schools. So like what you said, it's spreading the students, and perhaps even yun nga, parang na-dilute yung quality of education. So those are exciting
And saka the
things.
resources are, to me, not wisely spent. And so we're parang if there's no collaboration, if it's separate implementation, if it's compartmentalized and atomized, and the danger kasi is turfing, di ba? This is our turf. This is parang so then it makes it difficult for people to trust each other and to communicate. And for me, this is the linchpin of raising quality. It's really about collaboration. If we can learn something from the pop culture, the most popular artists now, they're making collabs. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so they're making collabs. Coldplay is making collab with
BTS,
so if
Yeah, because
we
it's
can
pulling the audience,
exactly,
right?
and then it's pulling the resources, and then without necessarily having to monopolize it.
Yeah.
Oh, so then it becomes an ecosystem really of efficiency, and so parang when we talk about inclusive growth and inclusive quality, not one institution can do that. That's why the word complementarity is very important, because it acknowledges the strengths of the public and the private entities, not only in education, but even, so for example, now we're very happy that we have a good complementary relationship with the local government of Butuan. We're helping them develop systems in their quest to become a smart city. We're implementing some projects from our friends at the OST, and one can see the excitement of these partnerships with government line agencies, that really there are well-meaning people in the government and
Yes.
in the government line agencies, even in government schools, no? So daghan kaayo og kanang pwedeng buhaton
Yes.
if we move beyond and have that innovative parang concept.
Mindset,
And mindset.
Yeah.
No? So kana siya.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. So I think at this point, let's have our Catholic trivia of the day. Friends, we know about the big names of Catholic universities here in the countries run by the religious orders. But did you know that Father Saturnino Urios University is one of the only two Catholic university that is run by the local diocese and by the diocesan clergy? And the other university is the Holy Angels University in Angeles City, Pampanga. So we're proud to say FSUU is a local Catholic university run by our local clergy. That's our Catholic trivia for today.
Now you know, right?
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so FSUU is run by the diocese,
Diocese.
by the
Yes.
clergy.
Yes.
And I think this, I remember asking you before that you have this high role. Back then you were vice president, now president. But you're talking about the salary of the priests and how in the clergy it's equal, right? And I remember asking you, and I'd love for the audience to share your insights. Because I asked you, hindi ka ba lugi nun, Father? You're the vice president or now the president, and yet you share the same salary. And you said something that really struck me from coming from that Catholic background. I don't know if you remember, but I'm sure you know the reason. If you can share that with us.
I don't remember our conversation, Shaila, but hindi siya lugi. Because we're here for the mission. As I've said, the work in the university is an expression of the priesthood. So if you look at it from that perspective, whether you have a doctorate, whether you have special training, whether you have great managerial skills, or you run an institution, but as a priest, you're always bound by that overarching mission of your call to serve God through the diocese, through the structures of the diocese. So whether it's a parish priest role, social action, whether it's apostolate to the deaf, or whether it's the presidency of the university, it's an expression of an apostolate. No, so it being more than an office, it's really an apostolate, and I am happy that to segue perhaps to the financial reform of the diocese, that we are moving towards an equal allowance for the priest, so that we don't have to jockey for the lush assignments, because then it's the mission becomes the priority.
Yeah.
And then, so for example, now we have healthcare, we have a retirement home. So you're not focused anymore on your securities, because you know that the diocese is taking care of you or of the priest. And so you're just focused in doing your mission. And you're just focused in the kind of difference that you are going to make as a leader, or even as an assistant parish priest. So it doesn't matter if, for example, maybe later Father Glenn will become Bishop Glenn, and he will become my bishop.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, or he might become my parish priest later on when I'm rotated out to another assignment. It doesn't matter, because it's a simple transition. It's just a change of address. But the mission is the same, the vocation is the same, the call is the same, and you are asked to, or challenged to bloom where you're planted, right? If you're planted in the desert or in a flood-prone area.
Yeah. Ito such a radical, kasi, parang to me, the Catholic faith amazes me in the sense that it always has these radical teachings, but make complete sense. Because in the secular world, to me, lugi yun. Parang I have more workload.
Yeah, no.
Why will I have the same salary as somebody who does much, much less than I? But then you open that idea to me na, kasi shy, we don't think that way. Right? Priests think in a way, yun nga, what is the mission? What am I here to do? What am I called to do? And I really think that's such a good reminder to all of us to not keep, yun nga, seeking the
Highest position.
yeah, the highest position. You can serve where you are, and just.
Teka, if I may, parang you reminded me of the formation that I have. I come from a seminary called San Jose. So it's a San Jose Seminary, and it's run by the Jesuits at the Ateneo de Manila. And one of the strongest parang foundation spiritualities for the Jesuits is the spiritual exercises of Ignatius, Saint Ignatius of Loyola. And Saint Ignatius of Loyola has always been warning the Jesuits, and in extension to those who have embraced the Ignatian spirituality, to be very, very careful about honor, riches, and power. And so for Ignatius, when you embrace the banner of Christ, no, because the metaphors of Ignatius are military, no, okay, he was a soldier before, so it was about the banner of Jesus or the banner of this other guy with horns, no? And so Ignatius says, if you embrace the banner of Christ, it's very important that you're very careful about these three things that can lead you away from Him.
So riches, tama ba?
Riches, power,
Power.
and honor.
And honor.
Honors are not bad in themselves because one can be proud of achievements.
Yes, yes.
But if it brings you away and if it does not contribute to giving praise and glory to God, then that becomes problematic. Power, leadership positions must have power in
Yeah.
order to effect
implement, yeah.
and to implement. So, power is not necessarily evil, but the question is how it brings you closer or away. From God, or from your spirituality, from Jesus, no. So or resources, money. Si Pope Francis, another
The
Jesuit.
shoes that he wore to his
very
right?
simple,
Yeah.
but he wants to make sure that there's money for the mission, so that you can do your mission.
Yeah.
So it's not just about getting, but it's really about being sustainable so that you can do the mission for the community. So, kumbaga, and for me, yung sustainability kasi, it's your in a way, parang yun yung taya mo for the future. Because you don't know, no matter how future proofing you want to do, there's so much unknown things in the future that then you need that resource so that your commitment to the future of an institution like Curious, you can make sure that you can take care of your employees, no? of our people. So for example, when COVID happened, I'm very, very proud that we were able to support our employees. This is the kind of parang commitment to the future that's very important. So parang ganon, riches, honor, and power, Ignatius warns them if na they can be used to bring you closer to the mission and to fulfill the mission and to Christ, or they can bring you away, away from.
Speaking of Saint Ignatius, diba, we're following the Ignatian spirituality paths, and then I remember Saint Ignatius always referred to himself as the pilgrim, diba? So
Yes.
speaking of pilgrimage, gikan man ka nag-camino, diba?
Yes.
So
Yes.
how was the
Yeah.
segue? How was the camino? I think you were able to do that while still on the school year, diba? So
Yeah.
how
How
was the
long was
experience?
it, and what was your experience?
Nag-leave ko sa Camino, and I've been meaning to do it for the longest time. My inspiration is, of course, Father John the Pilgrim. He did it for
He's done it so many times.
4 times already, and he did the full Camino.
Wow.
But it is true that it is indeed a life-changing experience. No, the way you look at things, the way you look at what are the essentials in life. No, so it's very powerful. So I encourage, if you want to do the Camino, if not in Spain, maybe just in Butuan or wherever you are, do the pilgrimage. I walked for 120 kilometers.
Wow.
For
6
context,
days.
that's from Butuan to Surigao City. For context. That's from Butuan City
Wow.
to Surigao City, 120 kilometers.
120.
Right? Yeah.
And the real walk is really even more because when you reach a particular parang stopover, you still need to look for your hotel, which sometimes a kilometer away. So yung ganun. And then so I did it for 6 days.
Wow.
I followed there are several routes going to Santiago de Compostela. Santiago de Compostela is situated in the Galician region in Spain. So that's the region that is near Portugal. So there are 4 routes there. There's a Camino Primitivo, the old way. There's an English way. There is a Portuguese way. There's a French way. The French way is the more popular one, and that's the parang road that I followed. And then the French way is about 800 plus kilometers.
Wow.
So yung 120 ko, that's actually the last leg.
Oh,
And so for the
okay, okay.
Camino hardcore pilgrims, they would say, that's the short one.
Ano yung mga
That's the
distinction?
short-
Mga humble,
That's
humble
the-
brag.
That's the short one pala. So, okay, thank you. I was able to finish the short one.
Yeah.
But it was such a pleasant, nice experience for me.
What were some of your realizations as coming home as the president? Like bringing that idea forward, like going to this retreat or pilgrimage as a leader or as a servant leader?
A lot, no? So, even until now, I'm still processing it. But the one thing that really struck me was, number one, I was able to pray for all of the people I know. Kaya, kung sa may mong buhaton, naglakaw ka the whole time, so you don't have anything to do. And so, I was able to pray for everyone I know. So I kind of divided the prayers between assignments, no, so Urios people. Sa Urios people, 1.1, management, 1.2 employees, teaching ng teaching,
Pil na
1.3
7,000 ka
students. So yun na. And then St. Joseph Cathedral, Filipino-Chinese community, my family, no, friends in Asia, friends in Belgium where I did my studies, friends in the US. So ingon ana, I was able to pray for all the people that I know. And then second, it kind of was very awesome for me to kay kadto nga kanang mga these are ancient routes ba. And so my realization was I contributed to the millions of steps in that road. No? And then third, it's inevitable that when you walk that distance, you become tired. And then I learned that one, you have to take care and listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. But also, you have to need to rest. Kaya ako'y pagka-workaholic. And one of the things that struck me was when I was walking that second segment, it's a 22-kilometer thing with about 15 kilometers uphill. So, two things.
Layo nun,
Si
ah.
Father John told me, syempre kung uphill, hinay ka.
Yeah.
And so Father John texted me and said, you can now appreciate the beauty of taking things slow. And for somebody like me, and the officers of the university know this, I want to finish meetings. I want to cram schedules.
As much
I want to,
as you
possible.
can.
It's good. It's a very good reminder. It's a very good takeaway. The other thing is, a friend of ours, Caminante, I think she would not be mad if I mention her name, si Pebbles Estacio. She was telling me over text, look how far have you gone. Because sometimes in life you can, para bang, you can always say, ay, ang layo pa. Kapoy naman ni, uy, kay sus, daghan pa ko'y abtunon dito, layo pa. And sometimes we don't appreciate
How far
you've gone. You know, how the things that you've gone through and the hurdles that you've overcome in life.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a beautiful metaphor of what life is. Of what leadership is, for that matter. No? And sometimes we just say, we're the harshest judges of ourselves. Sometimes we don't appreciate how far we have,
Yung malayo pa, pero
malayo
malayo
ka na.
na.
Diba? So to me, that's just a beautiful metaphor for life and beautiful metaphor for leadership. Of course, the other thing is to appreciate the present, because you can be tied up with worries about kaya ko ba to o hindi, or because after that on the after the second day, which is quite punishing, you'd have some doubts, and then I can confess that I was really looking at the internet and looking at taxi service. Kasi pag hindi ko na kaya to, tatawag ako ng taxi.
May backup ako.
May backup plan ako.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
you're looking ahead or you're worrying ahead.
You're worrying ahead. You're worrying about kaya ko ba to o hindi. And I'm kind of like that because I want to control the situation.
Yeah. What's ahead? I want to control
I
that.
want to control it. So I have to. Although I could, the other voice is saying it's good to take calculated risks. And then it was funny because the third day, kay kapoy man tong second day, the third day, these are, there are naughty pilgrims. They would put parang sheets of paper on 3 trunks along the Camino route. When you're tired, call this number, this taxi service. The temptation is always there to take the easy way out. And that's the fifth thing, I think, that there's always the temptation to cut corners and take the easy way out. And see, Cardinal Newman was the patron of Catholic education. Cardinal Newman has a great saying about not taking shortcuts. He says, great acts take time. And sometimes you take all the time that you need for you to finish a task and not cut corners. And to me, that's a great leadership tip. Because there's always a temptation when you're a leader to cut corners.
Yes.
And you can cut corners because you have power.
Yeah.
But then, that's the other lesson for Camino.
Yeah.
And the other, perhaps I could go on and on and on, but perhaps
Ito magbagong episode mo na ng Camino na po natin.
maybe just for the last one, you have to enjoy the view, and you have to enjoy what you have at the present. So one of the things that really was very memorable for me was I enjoy the food. So it's not just sacrifice and tears and sweat. There's also that
The good things.
enjoyment of food and culture
Wine.
and the Mensha wine. so it's also about I think not just looking at the crosses in life, but also appreciating the good things that life has to offer. So I think it's very important, and the places where I made stops, they have good things to offer. So that's the other thing. So people are asking me after I did the Camino, so Father, are you going to do it again? Sabi ko, you can count on it.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm doing it again.
Yeah. Kasi
Hopefully.
Father John has done it 4 times. And kasi nga, something is calling you, that quiet retreat, just being alone with yourself and with your Creator, no?
Requirement na siguro, no? Being in Oreos requires the
Camino.
the planning, the reflection.
And also, the planning and the organization, but that's for
That's another episode.
Yeah, that's
in
another
itself.
episode. So.
But this was nice kasi yun nga, parang as in life, the good and the bad, some of us just really continuously look for the joy. Like, why aren't I happy? But yun nga, your trip, the road to Santiago really reminded you na, sometimes along with the bad and the suffering and the aches and pains of your body, at the end of the day, there is joy and good wine, and even with life, you can't always expect that joy is a constant state. It's not, right?
No.
It really comes with some heavy lifting and heavy suffering, and God in His grace makes you better for it.
And I think before you know it, it's parang God is training you.
Yeah.
God is training you. In Camino, you have to prepare you have to take care of your foot, because if you have blisters, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You have to
So
take
yung
care.
discipline.
And then even the difficulty, the uphills, and then you realize that and then suddenly when there are other uphills, then you say, I've trained for this.
Yeah.
And I think in life, it's the same.
You've been hardened and toughened
So
by experience, so you can go through this.
Yeah, so it's God And to me, sometimes we pray and then prayers are unanswered. But then that journey from there, from point A to point B, where you struggle with unanswered prayers, before you know it, God has been forming you in that process. So
Preparing.
to me, it's quite interesting.
It's very rich, very rich afternoon. We learned
So
a
much.
lot.
Yeah.
So,
And I hope na-inspire mo, no? Yung mga
inspiring nga
nahihirap.
magkamino, mag-curious.
Kana, yung seeing the beauty of the Catholic education as well. There's so much that we could talk about, obviously, and we've always been excited leading up to this interview, and hopefully this isn't the last, Father Randy.
Oh,
You
sige.
are-
So I'm becoming a regular here.
Yeah, you're second pa lang. So hindi pa regular, dapat regular. Treasure trove of wisdom, Father. Thank you so much. So ayan, quick announcements for our viewers. Salo-Salo happens every Saturday, no, at 6 a.m. just here in front of the cathedral. So go ahead and join us. Sa halagang 3,500, you guys can actually help feed 2,000 people.
Yeah, 200 and
200,
more.
2,000, 200.
Hopefully, 2,000.
Yeah.
And then also we have our cleanup drive every fourth Saturday of the month at our Agusan River Park. So join us as we uphold our care for creation, as we continue the mission of Laudato Si, the mission of our stewardships of creation.
Yes.
And
Sunday feed with the street kids also happens every Sunday at 10 a.m. FSUU CBS Building Gate area. This is in partnership, of course, with FSUU.
Yeah, so like to add, kanigamay lang ba sila Father Randy nagpasugod ani, di ba? And it's been long-standing tradition that is also Cathedral has took part together with FSUU. And also, we have Tuesday Devotional Mass every 6 p.m. every Tuesday. So join us in prayer as one community and let us go to San Jose, kadto kang San Jose.
Yes. Father Randy, we have what we call iTag movement.
Yes.
Can you go ahead and invite our viewers?
Yes, I'd like to invite the university community, the diocese, the parishioners, and also the various GKK leaders to our ITAG prayer,
Yeah.
3G prayer.
Yes.
3G, Gathering for a Good Governance. This is happening on November 29, 2 to 5 p.m. at the Libertad Sports Complex. So see you there. No, we continue our advocacy for good governance and collective action so we can help build a better community and a better Philippines founded on justice and inclusivity and
Integrity.
and integrity. So see you there,
Yes.
November 29.
Ayan, abangan natin. Please let us join the Catholic Church and yun nga, be strong in our stand.
Yeah.
You know.
So thank you so much, Father Randy. So next week, we'll be talking more about this ITAG 3G prayer. So join us as we continue to uphold our call for transparency, accountability, and good governance, because leadership begins with service and mission. So it's been a quiet afternoon, Shai. So continue to follow us.
Next week,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Next
have another
week for
episode
our
happening
iTag.
Tuesday at 3 p.m. Kung ano yung topic, abangan. Amo na siyang i-post sa atong cathedral page, no? And so this afternoon, we've had the wonderful opportunity to speak with Father Randy and learn more about his leadership style, his stories, and it's been really just amazing to hear the story, Father Randy. With great power comes great responsibility. And as you can see, the call to leadership is actually an invitation not only for power and authority, but also of humble, Christ-like service. So we hope na you had a lot to learn and a lot to digest the beautiful learnings this afternoon.
So many things.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Shaila.
This is Father Glenn, and thank you for joining our Tuesdays with San Jose. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Pads.
Thank you.